Listening test. This listening test has 4 parts. You will hear each part once only. So listen carefully and answer all the questions while you are listening. Write your answers clearly and pay attention to spelling, numbers, names, and specific details. Part 1. You now have 1 minute to read questions 1 to 8 before the recording begins. Remember, you will hear the conversation once only, so listen carefully and manage your time wisely. You will hear a conversation between a customer and a restaurant receptionist about reserving a table at La Vizelle restaurant. For question 1 to 8, complete the notes with the correct information. Good evening. La Vizelle restaurant, Alex speaking. How may I help you?
Hello, I'd like to reserve a table for the Saturday evening.
No worries, sir. May I have your name, please?
My name is Daniel Britake.
I'm sorry, did you say Brute?
No, it's Britochy. I know it's quite difficult to pronounce.
That's totally fine, sir. Thank you for spelling it for me. And what time would you like the reservation for?
Around 7:30, please. By the way, there will be 4 of us that evening.
That's perfect. We still have several tables available at that time. Would you prefer to sit indoors or outside on the terrace?
Outside would be lovely if possible.
Of course, the terrace is one of the most popular areas in the restaurant because it overlooks the garden and there's live music later in the evening.
That sounds really nice.
Yes, many customers enjoy the atmosphere there. Especially on weekends, we also provide heaters outside if the weather becomes cooler during the night.
Great. Could you tell me a little about the menu?
Certainly, we specialize in Mediterranean cuisines. We serve fresh seafood, pasta dishes, grilled meat, salads, and several vegetarian meals. We also have a selection of homemade desserts prepared daily by our pastry chef.
Excellent. One of my friends is vegetarian.
That won't be a problem at all. In fact, our chef can also adapt some dishes for customers with dietary requirements or food allergies.
Perfect. And do you serve drinks until late?
Yes, we do. The restaurant stays open until midnight on Saturdays. Many guests stay after dinner for coffee, desserts, or cocktails while enjoying the music.
Sounds like a great place.
Thank you very much, sir. We try to create a relaxing and also friendly atmosphere for all of our guests.
I also wanted to ask about parking. Is there a car park nearby?
Of course, we have a private parking area behind the restaurant and it's completely free for customers dining with us.
That's very convenient.
We also recommend arriving between 15 minutes earlier because Saturdays are usually quite busy.
Alright. Do I need to pay anything in advance for the reservation?
No, not a reservation of 4 people. We simply ask customers to contact us if they need to cancel or to arrive late.
That's reasonable.
May I also have a contact phone number, please?
Yes, of course. It's 0745892164.
Thank you. Let me just confirm your booking. That's a table for 4 people this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. on terrace under the name of Daniel Bretake.
That's correct.
Wonderful. We look forward to welcoming you to the La Vizelle restaurant.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, sir. Have a lovely evening.
You too. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Part 2. You will hear a tour guide talking to a group of visitors about a historical walking tour in the city center. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 20. You will hear the recording once only. For questions 11 to 16, complete the notes below. Write one word and or a number for each answer. For questions 17 to 20, choose the correct letter A, B, or C. You now have 1 minute to read the questions. Here you go. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Old City Walking Tour. My name is Salem, and I'll be your guide today. Before we begin, I'd like to give you some important information about the tour and explain what you can expect during the morning. The walking tour has become one of the most popular tourist activities in the city over the last few years. Every month, hundreds of visitors join us to learn more about the history, architecture, and culture of the Old Town area. The tour usually lasts around 3 hours, including a short break for refreshments. We are starting here in Market Square, which was originally built in the late 18th century. In the past, local farmers came here to sell vegetables, cheese, meat, and handmade products. Nowadays, the square is mainly used for public events, music festivals, and seasonal markets. During the winter months, a large ice skating rink is placed in the center of the square, attracting both tourists and local families. Our first stop today will be the Ashton Museum, located just across the street from the town hall. The museum is famous for its collection of historical photographs and ancient maps of the city. Visitors are often surprised to learn that many of the streets looked completely different 100 years ago. The museum also contains a special exhibition on traditional clothing and local crafts. After visiting the museum, we'll continue toward River Lane, one of the oldest streets in the area. The buildings there are well known for their narrow balconies and colorful stone walls. Several scenes from a historical television drama were filmed there 5 years ago, and the street has become especially popular with the photographers ever since. At approximately 11 o'clock, we'll stop at Green Cafe for a short 20-minute break. Drinks and snacks are available there, although they are not included in the price of the tour. I would personally recommend trying the homemade lemon cake, which is extremely popular with visitors. Once the break is over, we'll walk toward Kingsford Bridge. The bridge was first constructed in 1820 and was rebuilt twice after severe flooding damaged the original structure. Today it offers one of the best views in the city, especially during sunset. As we continue the tour, please remember that some streets can become quite crowded, specifically near the shopping district. For safety reasons, I'd ask everyone to remain with the group and avoid crossing roads without informing one of the guides. If anyone becomes separated from the group, please call the emergency number printed on your ticket. Before we finish, I'd also like to mention that photography is allowed throughout the tour. Expect inside the museum's special exhibition area. Flash photography is strictly prohibited there because some of the historical materials are very sensitive. Finally, at the end of the tour, visitors will receive a free city map showing additional attractions, restaurants, and transport information. Many guests use the map later to just explore the city individually. Alright, everyone? If there is no questions, we'll begin the tour by heading toward the museum entrance on the left-hand side of the square. Part 3. You will hear a discussion between a teacher and a student about a proposal for an Ielts mathematics and science competition. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 30. You will hear the recording once only. For questions 21 to 24, choose the correct letter A, B, C, or D. For questions 25 to 30, complete the notes below. Write one word and or a number for each answer. You now have 1 minute to read the questions. Good afternoon, Uma. I've read your proposal for the Ielts mathematics and science competition, and I think the idea was very impressive. Using artificial intelligence to help protect the environment is an excellent topic. Thank you, Mr. Carter. I wanted to create something practical that could help reduce pollution and improve recycling systems. So, explain your idea to me again. Of course, mister. My project is based on AI-powered smart recycling bins. The bins would use cameras and sensors to recognize different kinds of waste automatically, such as plastic, paper, and food waste. That sounds quite advanced. What inspired you to choose this topic? I read several reports showing that large amounts of recyclable rubbish are just still thrown away incorrectly every day. I thought AI technology ideas could help solve that problem. Very interesting. I also noticed that you mentioned a mobile application in your proposal. Yes, the app would allow users to scan products before throwing them away. The AI system would then explain the correct recycling method. That could be very useful for schools and families. Have you considered adding some kind of reward system? Actually, yes, mister. Users could collect points each time they recycle correctly, and schools could compete against one another to reduce waste. Excellent idea. However, I think you need to explain the financial side of the project more clearly. Now, you have 1 minute to look at questions 25 to 30. Do you mean the development costs? Exactly. The judges will probably want details about the price of sensors, software, and what cameras you will be using. I understand. I'm still calculating the estimated cost at the moment. Good. Another important point is data privacy. Since your system uses cameras, you should explain how users' information will remain protected. I was thinking of storing only recycling statistics instead of personal information. That would definitely be safer. Now, regarding the final presentation, remember that each student only has 8 minutes. I'm planning to create a short animation to demonstrate how the smart bins would work in real life. That's a very good approach. Visual explanations are often more effective than long written descriptions. I also want to include graphs showing how recycling rates could improve over time. Excellent, Oma. Just make sure the graphs are simple and easy to understand by the people and the judges. All right. Overall, I think your proposal has a great potential. With a few improvements, it could become one of the strongest projects in the competition. Thank you very much for your advice. You're welcome, Oma. I would forward to seeing your final presentation next month. Bye. Goodbye, mister. Good morning. Today we'll be discussing the influence of social media on the mental health and behavior of teenagers. I know that it's like interesting topics for everyone, so I'll begin. Over the last decade, social media platforms have become a central part of daily life for young people and especially infected the world. Teenagers now spend several hours each day communicating online, sharing photographs, watching videos, and interacting through digital communities. Researchers have discovered that social media can be both positive and negative effects. And one major advantage is communicating. Teenagers now are able to remain connected with friends and relatives regardless of distance. Many students also use online platforms to exchange the educational materials, and they can also organize the study groups. Another benefit involves creativity. Social media it gives young people opportunities to share artwork, music, photography, and personal ideas with large audiences. Some psychologists believe this can increase confidence and encourage self expression. Now, look at questions 36 to 40. However, there are also significant concerns. One of the most serious problems is anxiety. Many teenagers that they just compare themselves constantly with others online, particularly when viewing carefully edited photographs and videos. As a result, some young people begin to develop feelings of insecurity or low self esteem. Sleep is another area that may be negatively affected. Studies shows that many teenagers continue using their phones late at night, reducing both the quality and quantity of sleep they receive. Lack of sleep can then affect the way and it can affect concentration, memory, and academic performance at school. Cyberbullying has always and also become an increasing problem in recent years. Unlike traditional bullying, online harassment can continue throughout the day and may reach very large audiences quickly. Experts believe this can create severe emotional strain for some teenagers. In addition, researchers are concerned about addiction. Many social media applications are specifically designed to keep users engaged for long periods through notification, videos, and personalized content. Some teenagers find it difficult to reduce their screen time even when they want to. Parents and schools are now attempting to address these issues in several ways. Some schools have introduced digital awareness programs to teach students about healthy online behavior. Parents are also encouraged to discuss internet safety openly with their children rather than simply banning technology completely. Despite the challenges, most experts agree that social media itself is not entirely harmful. The overall effect often depends on how technology is used and how much time individuals spend online each day. In conclusion, social media has changed teenage life dramatically. Although it offers important opportunities for communication and creativity, it also presents risks that require careful management from families, schools, and society as a whole. This is the end of part 4. You now have 1 minute to check your answers. This is the end of the listening test.